Hi there, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and today I'm giving you recipes that have a surprise in them. The surprise, a crunch. Join me today with some foods that talk back. Today on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Welcome Taste Buds, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to the Goya Kitchen in the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute in Coral Gables. Don't you just love finding something crunchy in a dish that's not normally crunchy? Well, you've seen me add something crunchy to many of my recipes. Just to get that crunch sensation, I've done it with celery, some nice big crunchy salt, or maybe a crispy topping. Well, get ready. Here I go again. Let's get cooking. So I really wanted to teach you about crunchy French fries. You know, there's delicious French fries, and then there's crunchy French fries. So this is how you make a French fry at home, and they stay crunchy for a really long time. And I'm talking over 10 minutes. Crazy, right? So this is the trick. You take water and white vinegar. If you can believe, yes, vinegar. And don't worry, it doesn't make it taste like vinegar. It just makes it better. It does something to the pectin in the potato. So you add white vinegar to water. You bring it up to a boil, you let it simmer, add those potatoes in there, and we're gonna let them simmer in there until they get really nice and tender, which I, of course, have already started. So once they're tender, you fish them out delicately, because you don't want to break them, and you place them on a nice little cookie sheet or baking sheet. Once you do that, you want to let them just kind of cool and chill out until they come to room temperature. Okay, once they come to room temperature, you want to kind of dry them off a little bit with paper towels, and then set oil temperature. And by the way, never use olive oil for this. It would be a total waste. You always want to use a kind of flavorless oil, something like safflower or grapeseed, which is kind of expensive but really good. So a flavorless oil that has a really good smoking point, okay? We're gonna set the temperature to 400 degrees. So let's see where we are right now. We are very close to 400 degrees now. Once the fries come to room temp, I actually even like them in the fridge for a little bit. Blot them dry with paper towels, make sure they're really good and dry. So now we're gonna fry, not to get crispy, we are still par cooking, okay? French fries take a few steps to get perfect. So you don't wanna add them in all at once either. You want to add them in 2 to 3 batches, okay? Because then our temperature of our oil will cool immediately, and that's not good. So we need it to stay as close to 400 as possible. So I think 3 batches. So we're going to cook this for 10 seconds. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Remove. Again, I love these spiders or a slotted spoon, but you want to get it all out. Wait just a beat to allow your oil to come back up to temperature, and finish all the rest of the fries. Again, we're going in 3 separate times, right? So this was the first, and then take another batch, and then another batch. Once that's all done, you will allow these French fries to go back onto a cookie sheet and place that into either a freezer for like 3 months if you want to, wrapped up, or you can place it into a closable bag, which I do because I always have ready to go fries on hand, whether it's at the restaurants or at home. So this is what they look like when they have been already frozen, okay? So these have been frozen. These are really cold frozen fries, and they almost look like they're done, right? Because they've been cooked and then recooked. So you bring your temperature again to 400 degrees, and we are definitely at 400 degrees. Now the best thing to do, if you're gonna make a lot of fries, set an oven temperature to 200 degrees. It's a nice kind of stable temperature, keeps things nice and warm, and you can make as many fries as you want to. Every time you make a batch, throw it into the oven, then you have a big batch to serve everyone, and they will last in that oven for 10 to 15 minutes because these will be so crispy. Let's go ahead and place these in the frying oil. Again, not all at once, we will reduce the temperature if we do that. So let's do about a third what I have here. Now this is going to take about 3 to 4 minutes to get them super crunchy. And how will I know they're crunchy? Because they will be golden. And how will you know that they're golden? Well, when you come back from this little mini break, you will see how golden they will be. See you in a minute. Don't forget, you're watching SoFlo Taste on Local 10. SoFloShows.com is a great place to celebrate the food of South Florida. It's also the place to ask me a question or make a comment, especially a good comment. Again, SoFloShows.com.
Come back to SoFlo Taste from the Goya Kitchen at the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute, here on Local 10.
I'm design expert Elena Capra, and after Michelle, join me for SoFlo Home Project here on Local 10.
It's a Milam's Markets Minute. Here's Melinda Harper.
Lee, you know I love a good sandwich, but I love a good salad even more. And looking at your deli department, it looks like you have a great selection.
Thank you. We could definitely make you a great sandwich with Boar's Head premium meats and cheeses, but we have a lot of fresh offerings that we make in-house, and our deli salads are no exception. We'd like to offer you a sample of our homemade chicken salad.
I would love to take a sample. Thank you. Let's have a SoFlo taste. Tastes fresh, crunchy, creamy. You taste that it's homemade. It's delicious.
And it goes great on sandwiches too.
I love sandwiches.
So over here we have our deli cheese case. This is our specialty cheeses. They're cheeses from all over the world. You're gonna find more variety here than any other supermarket. Whether it's charcuterie board for cooking, you'll find it here.
So if you're looking to elevate your deli experience, definitely come give Milam's a try.
If you can't come to the store because you're not by one of our stores, visit milamsmarkets.com and you can order online. Let us bring the best to you.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and if you've just joined us, I've been making food that goes crunch. Now back to them. Can you hear this? I hope you hear this because this is so crunchy. This is one of the best French fries I've made. Yeah, in my career for sure. Anyway, they're delicious, they're golden, they're crisp, and you should make them if you have a few hours to spend doing it, but they are delicious. All right, next I'm going to make you, when I was in high school, no, even before that, junior high, I had a favorite sandwich. My favorite sandwich was the filet of fish from McDonald's, and I grew up eating that, even more than any burger, which I love burgers, but I don't know what it was. I really loved that sandwich, and I would have it at least a couple times a month. So much so that I've decided that I have to make the sandwich, and I'm gonna make it even crunchier. So what I've done is I've taken some local snapper, taken the skin off, and I decided to get the best thing to make it crunchy, which is panko breadcrumbs. So first we went flour, then some egg wash, which is basically just a couple of eggs whisked up really well, and then panko. And I love to do this and then set it in the fridge to really just make sure that the panko's really in there and set onto the fish, okay? So that's what's here. In here is a combination of cooking oil with a little bit of clarified butter. Clarified as butter is when you clarify butter, you can buy it or you can make it. Basically, the milk is boiled out of it. It's really good. And it makes everything taste really good. And when my mother would make us milanesas at home, which is breaded veal, she would always cook it in butter. Anyway, so a little butter in this is delicious, but don't use whole butter or that's gonna caramelize and ruin the whole thing. So I've got that heating up right there. I've got some good old American cheese. I know it's a little trashy, but let's face it, this sandwich is a little trashy, right? So let's see, that's not hot yet. So let's go ahead and jump right into the tartar sauce, because to me, the tartar sauce is almost just as important as the fried fish. To make a really good fresh tartar sauce, take your favorite mayonnaise, add in some chopped capers, some finely minced gherkins, which are little tiny cornichons, you know, the little tiny pickles. Some finely minced shallots. Some finely chopped parsley, Italian parsley. And some finely chopped dill. To that, go ahead and add about a half of a lemon. Some salt. And your favorite hot sauce. Well, who has one favorite hot sauce, right? Your favorite hot sauce for your tartar sauce. So I like to choose an American hot sauce for this. I don't know why, but I do. Go ahead and mix that up. And now you have tartar sauce that will last you a good solid week to 10 days in your fridge. And you can use it on whatever you like. All right, so let's see. This is getting nice and hot. So you can either put 2 fillets together into one sandwich or 1 fillet into a sandwich, totally up to you. I'm using these nice fat potato rolls that have seeds on them. It's a lot of bread, so I think I'm gonna go double with the fish because of the amount of bread. So I always cook what I call the presentation side down first to get it really nice and crispy. The bloodline is on the other side. This is where the skin was. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down into the clarified butter / oil combination with 2 fillets. So what we're looking here is for just golden brown and good and crispy. Crispy is the #1 important essential part of this recipe. Come right back to make sure that this fish is good and crispy. I'll see you in a minute. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. For more information on today's show or to see a recent SoFlo Taste episode, please go to our website, SoFloShows.com. There you can find everything SoFlo Taste. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm here in the fabulous Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute. FEI's Culinary Arts program offers students like these a unique education that touches the international culinary fundamentals. In only months, students graduate from the FEI Culinary Arts program and can begin their new career on the dynamic SoFlo culinary scene. For more information, visit fei.edu/culinary-arts. Now back to some more recipes that speak to me. All right, everyone, let's finish up our fish sandwich. Look how crunchy they are. They're gorgeous. They're really crunchy. They're not oily at all, just delicious. Let's spread some tartar sauce along our bun. Don't forget, the fillet of fish always had American cheese, right? So I decided to do it upright. Maybe 1 per. I think I overdid it with 2. Okay, so 1 piece of cheese per. This is really big. Sorry, everybody. I got a little excited. So let's go ahead and place this down. And there you have it. A little bit of a dramatic version of the fillet of fish. It's local, it's crunchy, and it's delicious. All right, I'll put that there so you guys can do your oohs and ahs next to those fries. Okay. So, last dish, I have decided to teach you how to make my croquetas. They're crunchy on the outside and they're incredibly ooey gooey creamy on the inside. Let's jump right into how these beauties are made. So the first thing you do for a traditional croqueta is start by making a bechamel. So we've got butter and olive oil, and I do that so that there's some flavor from the olive oil, just changing the fats up a little bit. Most people make a straight oil, straight butter bechamel, but why not add both of them? To that, you're gonna wanna cook some onions or shallots, either one. I have always used yellow onions, cut up really nice and small. And you cook them until they're really nice and translucent. Once they're translucent, you want to go ahead and add flour. So it's equal parts of flour to fat. And you really want that flour to cook a little bit. You don't want to just throw the milk in yet. You'll notice that the flour starts pulling away from the sides of the pan. And that's when you know you're ready for your milk. So once you see this pulling away from the sides of the pan, go ahead and add your milk and go ahead and keep stirring. Now, I'm not really a fan of making bechamel with a whisk unless I have to. I really love using a rubber spatula or a wooden spoon, old style. So once that whole mixture comes together, and it will come together, you're going to keep stirring this until, again, the sides of the pan, all of your batter starts kind of pulling away from the sides of the pan. So notice as I'm stirring that this it goes clean. When you go along the side of the pan, it starts pulling away. And as it comes together, you'll notice that it's making big old streaks. That's when you know that your bechamel is about ready. So I'm going to shut that off. Now, it's really important that this has flavor, of course. So one thing I'm going to add is some nutmeg, because a lot of traditional bechamels have nutmeg, and I just love a touch of it as a nod to the classic. I'm also going to add, of course, some salt. And if you want to add cayenne, you can, but I'm not going to for this one. Don't add too much salt to this one because I'm actually going to follow it with some jamon. So this is jamon Serrano. We put it in a food processor to get it as fine as it is, but you can also cut it by hand if you want to. You can also use prosciutto, which you can buy already sliced, and cut it down even further if you want to. So I'm going to add that right in. I don't have the heat on anymore. Okay, I'll shut off all the heat. The last thing I add to my croqueta are a couple of different types of cheeses. Now this is really up to you, what kind of cheese you love. I use fontina because fontina melts so beautifully. I also love to use a little bit of manchego. You can use cheddar and go a little bit more American in your croqueta. It's really up to you where you want to take it. My original croqueta, which was my original restaurant with my husband David at Munchies, I used to actually use gorgonzola dolce, which is a crazy Italian blue cheese that is intoxicatingly delicious. But you know, that was a little different, and a lot of people weren't used to it, but people immediately fell in love with it. All right, so that is a croqueta batter, and this is what it looks like. And you want to spread it out onto a cookie sheet and get it nice and cold, and that's what this looks like. So this is a sheet of croqueta batter after it chills, and this only takes a couple of hours to get it really good and cold. So what you want to do there, now traditional croquetas, as you know, look like fat fingers, but we like to make little balls, little fingers, depending on what kind of croquetas we make. You can use gloves. I'm just going to use my hands so I can show you how we do it. You're going to shape it. This is great because all of your croquetas will be the exact same amount. So put it into a scooper of any kind. We roll this into a perfect little ball, or if you want to go into the finger size, this is going to be a thin finger, but like so. Dip it into flour, then egg wash, then breadcrumb. Make sure that every little crevice is covered with breadcrumb, and then the magic happens. Come right back so you can witness it yourself. Back to SoFlo Taste right after this. Welcome back to my crispy, crunchy show here on SoFlo Taste today. So obviously we have our beautiful fried fish sandwich our French fries that are just, I'm so happy with. All right, so our croquetas are cooking in oil. You always want to set your temperature to approximately 350 to 365 degrees. And let's see how these beautiful nuggets come out of here. Now, always in my restaurants, I don't know why I love it, but I do ham and cheese croquettes with fig jam. So I am serving them today with fig marmalade as well. So let's pull these out of the oil. I should have called this show Crispy and Creamy because the outside of everything is crispy, but the inside stays beautifully creamy on everything, and that's how I think food should be. All right, so there we have it. Crispy little croquetas with fig jam. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of SoFlo Taste. It's fun adding a crunch to recipes. Try this and see if they don't give you the satisfaction of the crunch. Next week, I'll be giving you some of my favorite recipes for quick and easy weeknight meals. On my menu is a chicken dish, a fish dish, and a sloppy dish. Sloppy joes, that is. So make plans to watch or DVR next week's SoFlo Taste. Now let's check in with the diva of design, Elena Capra, to see what she's got next on SoFlo Home Project. Hi, Elena.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we are taking a look at the challenges of home remodeling. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we tour a beautiful Fort Lauderdale home where the homeowner designed the addition to the property.
Okay, Ms. Capra, thanks. We'll stay right here. So, taste buds, have a great week. Goodbye and very good taste. Crunchie Munchies.